Welcome to the WellCoin Talk community. I'm Glenn, your host. Today we have EthBurn joining us. EthBurn, we've got lots to talk about. It's a very limited supply, 1 million supply, and they've got a 1% tree burn built into the buy and sell tax. We'll be looking at the lotteries, raffles, staking and NFTs planned on the roadmap, central exchange listings, and more. But first, guys, if you can just introduce yourselves with your background and experience.
Yeah, so I'm Crypto Ken. I'm the CMO. I've been in crypto for a little over a year. I'm actually working in the business. I have a couple other projects. I actually have a previous project that was on here as well. And yeah, I do a lot of marketing, brand ambassadorships, community management, those kinds of things. And then Manu Shak is our dev, and we can bring him up.
Yeah, hello. My name is Manosek. I'm developer. I'm living from passive income streams in crypto for about 7 years now, and the most important thing for me is tech and building community and making a change because everywhere scam, no matter where you look at, and when you make something different, something better, then I'm all for that.
Perfect. Thank you, Manny.
Great. So if we can go into the EthBurn project, give an introduction to investors and how it ties in with Baby ETH, is it expanding the ecosystem?
Yeah, so the EthBurn token is a gas optimized hyperdeflationary BEP20 Ethereum reward token. So the EthBurn token will have the 1 million supply, as you stated, with a 1% true burn per transaction. You'll actually be able to watch the circulating or the total supply on PooCoin, and you'll actually be able to watch it just diminish with every single transaction. And so for the EthBurn token, it's a 10% tax in, 10% tax out. The 10% tax is split into 5% of BEP20 Ethereum rewards. There is 2% LP. Then there is 1% for the dev, 1% for marketing, and 1% for true burn. Then on the Baby ETH burn side, the way that that's going to tie in is the Baby ETH burn will be working almost like a auto buyback system for the ETH burn token. The Baby ETH burn token is going to be 15% tax in, 15% tax out. We bumped the rewards for that contract up to 8%. So the Baby token will pay 8% ETHBurn rewards per transaction. And then we also bumped up the marketing to 2%, the dev to 2%. We have 2% for the LP and then 1% true burn per transaction on that one as well. We're starting the Baby ETH burn with the same 1 million supply. We're using the same contract. We just changed the reward token into ETH burn. So you have the same secure contract with the Baby token or with the ETH burn token. We do have it audited by Interfy, and they will be amending the last one and sending that out very, very shortly. We'll have that audit hitting. We just locked the liquidity last night. We raised 200 BNB in private sale for the ETHBurn token. It was at a rate of 1 BNB for 2,000 tokens. We added 133.3 BNB to the LP on the ETHBurn token, and that is locked for 1 year. On the Baby token, we raised 60 BNB, and we ended up doing 50 BNB and locked liquidity for 1 year on the Baby token.
Awesome, crypto again. And on the buy and sell, you've got 1% tree burn. So I was wondering how much you're looking to burn, obviously based on the volume, where you would sort of cut it off at 20, 30, 40, 50%. How will it work on the token?
Yeah. So we sold 40% supply on the private sale. And so that will be the allocation for. We added 26.6% supply for the liquidity. So we're looking at 66.6% of supply that's already used up. So we will have roughly that other 30 some odd percent to be able to burn through.
And if you want to transfer your money, I know it's only 5% transfer tax. So it's just built into the contract, is it, where the Ethereum rewards at 5% aren't included when you transfer into another wallet?
Yeah, so the rewards would be separate, of course. Of course, if you go through a contract function, it's going to trigger the rewards, so you will get your rewards on the transfer as well. But yes, we did the 5% transfer tax because we're going with a little bit of a new launch meta. We saw it over at BBR, BitBurn Reflect, and they were the ones that actually started with this launch meta. And I know all the members of that team. They've actually been hanging out with us in our voice chat too. And we are using that same launch meta for us for our token. So when we launch this token, you will only be able to purchase 0.1% of supply at launch, and we will slowly raise the max wallet. So what that's going to do is it's going to limit whales from being able to just go in with 1 TX and buy up 1% of supply. They can only buy 0.1%, 1,000 tokens. So of course they could do that with different wallets, but it makes it a lot more fair when everybody is there hitting the button trying to get it to go together, and they're only able to get the 0.1%. So for them to get 1% supply, they have to get 10 transactions through. And I think most people know on a hype launch how hard it is to try to get 10 transactions to go through.
Great, CryptoCannon. How will that be raised? Will it be raised over a couple of days, over a couple of weeks, and what's going to be the maximum wallet eventually?
It'll probably be a few days. We'll cap the max wallet out at 1%. We will not allow more than 1% for any wallet. With the transfer tax, that'll be the 5%, and we're also using that to diminish the impact that one wallet could have. So instead of somebody being able to just go and buy up, say, 10 different bags and then just transfer all of those tax-free into one wallet, we're not going to do it that way. That's why we're doing 5% tax, is to make people shy away from trying to transfer all of this into one wallet and have one big sell transaction on the chart.
Great idea, CryptoCannon. Yeah, and you've got staking as well. How's the staking going to work? Is it going to be like what staking for investors?
So the staking is actually a little bit of a teaser. So what we did is we put it on the DApp. The contract does allow staking. We've already gone over with the developers about implementing it. But with staking, we have it just kind of grayed out for the DApp currently. And the reason behind that is because staking is going to be a little further down the line. So we'll focus more on getting the NFT utility and NFT development out. I can't give too many spoilers on that because we're actually looking at a second utility to be able to bring in with that to give the NFTs true utility. So there's a couple of things with that I can't quite bring up, but I can say that there's goals for the NFTs of having not only a passive income stream, so reflections per mint to all holders, but also a percentage that will buy back our EthBurn token.
Okay, CryptoCannon.
And burn.
And with the ETH, have you got utilities attached to that can be used on EthBurn as well? And are you looking at partnerships in the future?
Yeah. So we're actually in talks with a couple of different groups. We actually have a AMA coming up tomorrow with Varigate, and Varigate just brought us in just to hear the project. They actually did it free of charge, so shout out to Varigate for that. And they're pretty big in DeFi. They have a good amount of other projects in DeFi. I've also been in talks with some people, and I won't name drop, but it's pretty much a DeFi collective in a way. There's 20 different projects that are in it that all help each other out. So we have that coming. We got a couple YouTubers already dropped us. We're getting pin posts and things in a couple of different lounge groups. This AMA going. We had our first partnership come out, and that was with True DeFi. And True DeFi is actually where we will be launching first. And the purpose of why we're using True DeFi is True DeFi is a sell-less platform. So for the holder rewards, it will be 100% sell-less. So going through True DeFi, we will not have contract sells for rewards. They also have a function where it will auto liquefy on every single TX. So every transaction will have auto liquefy instead of waiting and collecting for 30 minutes or an hour, depending on the contract, and then putting in that liquidity. It will actually be getting put in every single transaction. And also all of our fees will also be collected in BNB. So we will not have sell pressure from the team to do marketing. We will collect all of our fees in BNB. So there will be no adverse sell pressure from the team.
Okay, great, Crypto. Okay, and why did you choose ETH rewards? I mean, it's 5%. It's really nice. Is that because the ETH2 is coming up? I'm not sure on the timeline for when that's going to launch, but there is a lot of excitement around the Ethereum blockchain at the moment.
Yeah, that's exactly the reasoning behind it. You know, we saw EthBurn, we liked what they did, we liked the concept of it, but there were some issues that EthBurn had with the proxified contract and things like that. So the contract was actually upgraded by EthBurn Reflect, and I actually know the developers. They are Mighty and Emperor from Bit Valley, and they actually are the ones that are doing our DApp right now. So we're working with them as well. And so we decided to go with the ETH instead of doing BTC. Like you said, because of the merge, because of the hype around ETH, there's actually a fun fact on Ethereum is that for the first time ever, this happened last month, for the first time ever in Ethereum's history, it had more puts or more calls than Bitcoin in dollar value. And it was the first time that this has ever happened. So I think that that's a good reason of going over it is, you know, because of the merge, because of the hype around it, and because of how many people are trying to stack as much ETH as they can. Now you'll be able to stack ETH passively and also earn it on BSC, where you're going to have extremely low gas fees compared.
So that's great. That Ethereum overtook Bitcoin in the puts. That's amazing. And you're looking at lottery draws and raffles as well. What's going to be happening around there for investors?
Yeah, so that'll kind of be tied in a little more with the NFT side, and that's something that the developer Manushak is actually working on. I haven't had much on that side of it, and that's, you know, pretty much his big thing. I'm pretty much going through with NFT developers and going over you know, tokenomic styles and things that we would like to go over and design stuff for the NFTs. I've been talking to people for partnerships. I have spoken to a few exchanges already. Of course, the exchanges are a little expensive to list on, but with the exchanges that we're looking at, the 2 exchanges I've spoken to so far have over $1 billion in total volume per day.
And have you had an audit on the smart contracts?
Yeah, we have an Interfy audit. So actually what ended up happening was we had to launch our first contract. And we launched our first contract, and then a bad actor decided to go and claim our liquidity pool. And that was the contract that was audited. So then we just had to redeploy the same contract. We got everything sent over to Interfy. Interfy is amending it right now. We got it sent over to them roughly 10 hours ago, and they said that they'll expedite the service for us, and they're going to do it free of charge. So they will re-audit this new contract, but it's the same exact contract. Not a single thing in the code has changed. All we had to do was just redeploy because somebody decided to claim our LP pool, and I was not allowed to add liquidity. So we redeployed the contract, added the liquidity, and we also added an extra 5 BNB to the baby token for the liquidity. The baby token is 1 BNB for 5,000 tokens, and that means it will be starting at roughly 6 cents, which will put it at a $60,000 market cap with about $15,000 liquidity. The EthBurn token is starting at about 14.7 cents. Will all depend on where the market is and price of BNB because that's our LP pair. But yeah, that's about 14.7 cents, which would put it at roughly $147,000 market cap. And we added $40,000 of BNB liquidity.
And going forward, what's the marketing plans after launch, and when is the launch? Is that coming shortly?
Oh, it's coming shortly. Yeah. Everybody just make sure that after this, you come into our Telegram. We'll have a pre-launch VC, and we'll be launching this thing shortly. I can't give you an exact time because we are trying to keep it a little stealth, but it's gonna be within the next hour or so. And then for the raise on those, we did it 100% private. So we just did it Google form, private sale contribution. And we did it 100% private. We raised 200 BNB privately for the EthBurn token and 60 BNB privately for the baby EthBurn token. We sold roughly 24% of supply, or 30% of supply for the baby and 40% of supply for EthBurn.
And what's the marketing plans after launch? What you around the project?
Oh, well, there's going to be some nice things that you guys will see. I got a couple of people waiting to put out a couple of posts, different lounge groups, pin posts. We'll see some Bobby Buy bots going in some different groups. I also will be working on CMCCG as soon as we get the proper numbers for those. I already have a guy that's ready for that. We already have the marketing budget put to the side for that. You'll see the DApp and swap go live on our website. So with that, you'll be able to check your rewards. There will be a claim function just in case dividends ever get stuck. You'll have a button to click on there and be able to claim your Ethereum rewards directly. And then we will also have our own swap that will be uploaded through True DeFi. So you guys will be able to buy our token directly on our website as well.
Let's open it up to the rest of the team if anyone's got a question for crypto. Here, go ahead.
Yeah, Hagman, I was listening and it sounds exciting. I know everybody exciting about burning and all this. There's a whole culture around it. I know there's people, doing pre-sales and all that with it. So maybe you want to touch on a little bit on the true burn and how it works. I know a lot of people are already familiar and we kind of brush over all these like small technical details, but it's pretty cool. So maybe you can just give us like a little bit of an intro about that one and how it helps with the movement.
Yeah, so with the true burn, of course, it's going to help because the way that it's going to work is it'll be 1% per transaction. So with that, that would mean $1 million will burn 1% of supply. So if you think about that in the long term and you think about the amount of supply that can get burned, what technically a burn does is it technically lowers market cap because it's lowering supply. But if you have the buy pressure to outlast that, which typically if you're doing big burns, people realize that the way a burn works is your value may change a little bit of your tokens, but the market share that you have. So say you have 1% and that's the max wallet. That's all you can ever have. So you hold on to that wallet, but say that we keep burning and we get to 10% of that supply burnt. Now your 1% just turned into 1.1%. So without you doing anything other than holding and passively earning Ethereum rewards, you just up your bag a 10% size according to market.
Yeah, my kind of token, low effort, just hold while it gets burned, while your bag just increases, passively. It sounds super cool, Ken. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I also have some cool things that I plan on doing. If we're able to get the CEX listing, which is a big goal of mine, the way that the CEX listing works is they accept 6% tax. So we would be paid out 6% on per transaction, and we would be paid that in USDT. So what we would be able to do with that is I'm actually looking at when he was bringing up the staking, I'm looking at an implementation of being able to possibly do USDT rewards for holders and be able to add that as an extra passive income stream so that some people that may not like the volatility of regular crypto market would be able to lock their tokens up and earn USDT passively on top of earning Ethereum passively. So that's one of the things I'm looking at. And then that also will give us the availability of doing manual LP add, buyback and burn, those kinds of things manually with those funds.
Yeah, it sounds exciting. I know most people with the taxes they get from the CEX listing. I know most people don't even know that people do get a share of the taxes there. They just use it for marketing and stuff like that. But yeah, if you plan to inject that some way, in the ecosystem, whether through staking or other mechanics and stuff like that, it sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have funds on the side as well that we're holding on to and just waiting and watching. So this is definitely a project I would say for people not to cheat out of because we've got a couple hundred BNB that's just waiting for people to do it. So that's definitely one of the things I wanted to say on here. Go ahead and buy in and hold on for the rocket. But yeah, when people start to cheat out, we have a couple of different ways of counteracting that. We could buy back ourselves. We could raise max wallet to allow more people to buy back more tokens to be able to push someone out. We have a couple of different ways of going about that.
Awesome, crypto Ken. Let's move on to investor questions. Let's say I see the Busby devs in Astro Pam. You had a question for crypto Ken. Go ahead.
Glenn, I'm like a bad coin. I'm always turning up in whale coin talks lately. No, I just
What's up, Astro?
Hey, what's up? I just wanted to say, good luck on the launch. It's going to be awesome. I went over and spoke with Ken about kind of how we did the launch procedures at BitBurn Reflect. Investo and I kind of planned out, Investo really, but also we just sort of planned out all those details. It seems to be the new launch meta, and the burn meta seems to be the new burn meta. And when you've got ETH rewards, that's the logical next, of kin to Bitcoin. So I think this is going to do super duper good. I'm just pumped. I just wanted to say hello.
Thank you, Astro. Thank you. Yeah, I definitely, and I definitely gave you guys your kudos on that as well. It was a very, very smart way of doing it. And I've said this publicly, and I've also told Astro the same thing. I personally will never launch another contract without using this platform for launch.
Yeah, it's kind of the pink sale killer in a way, because Investo and I were talking when we were talking about launching BitBurn Reflect. We were like, what do we do? Pink sale, and then you've got pink sale dumping massive bags on everyone's head, and you've got the whole rigmarole of pink sale. And it's like, once enough people know you, you can kind of just fill a solid private sale with some people you know and trust to hold the floor. And you don't really need to go through all that. So it's kind of a hybrid of a stealth launch and with a private sale component that's almost like a pink sale. So you get kind of the best of both worlds instead of starting at like a $300,000-$400,000 market cap like you might on a pink sale, or God forbid doing one of these bear launches where people raise 2,000 beans and then that never works out because there's no buy pressure beyond that. This is the perfect combination of small private sale of diamond holders and then a lot of buy pressure at launch, but not that no one can just gobble up supply and then dump it on everybody. So it's just perfect. I think everyone's gonna have a lot of fun today.
Yeah, it definitely is the perfect storm. And I definitely second that. Like you said, when you have a good reputation in the space, when people know you, when you do things the right way, it's not hard to go and raise a private. When we did our private sale, I mean, still for 3 days since it's been closed, I've been getting tons of DMs and people asking if private is open. I mean, we could have raised, easily 500 BNB. I mean, possibly even 1,000 BNB if we wanted to go that route. But like Astro said, that's kind of the same principle of going with a pink sale fair launch, and then you end up launching your token, you have no buy pressure, and it's, does nothing but go down from there. So with us, not using pink sale, nobody has any of our tokens. We did not sell double bags to anyone. So the most that any of the apes were able to get in was only 2 BNB to buy 4,000 tokens for the EthBurn. So the biggest wallets are only 0.4%. So all of those guys will be continuing to buy in at launch. I personally will be continuing to buy in at launch. I know Manny and a couple others are the same way. So most of those people that got what you would call a max private bag, that bag still isn't even close to big enough for what they want. So all of those people will continue to buy in. And with the 0.1% max wallet, they won't be able to just put in 1TX, buy up, 0.5%, buy up 1%, and just have one whale buy, push the chart right at the beginning and make everybody else buy in higher. So that's the thing, is it'll spread it out a lot more evenly. And I think you saw that with BitBurn Reflect was, even when they had the big pump and they went up the 20x, it wasn't just a massive dump from there and then no buy pressure. It was steady consolidation because most of those people had to buy on the way up. I mean, me personally, my first buy cost me for 500 tokens. My first buy cost me 0.3 BNB, 0.25. My last buy cost me almost 1.3 BNB. So, and that was over a span of 2 to 3 minutes, that it already went up that fast. And that's why the launch meta is so good, is because if it wasn't that way, I would have been able to just buy up as much supply as I wanted right in my first transaction, and I would have stopped buying. But instead, I had to buy in increments of 0.1. So I ended up putting in 8 different transactions, and I had to continue to buy over time. So it just continued to push that price up.
Awesome, Crypto. Thanks for coming in. Let's move on to
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, let's move on to Syed. You had a quick question for Crypto Ken? Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn. Okay, just a quick question. So on your roadmap in phase 3, it's mentioned about special events that you will be organizing. So can you tell us more about this event? What kind of events these will be?
Yeah, special events, we'll be able to do some different things, possible, giveaways for NFTs, different rewards for those that are locking or staking, things like that, to where people will be able to be rewarded for diamond handing with us and for sticking with us. So I also have plans because I did the contribution form. So I have all of the wallets of those that did fair launch. So those that do fair launch and those that hold long term, I will be able to give them an extra benefit once we end up getting the NFTs and staking platform out. I will actually end up giving NFTs out to those that are fair launch buyers that held their bag all the way through, or private sale buyers, I should say, that held their bag all the way through. We did no fair launch, we did no pre-sale, just the 2 private rounds, 1 private round for Baby, 1 private round for EthBurn.
Got it. Got it. Thank you for clearing that up. Thank you so much. Over to you, Glenn.
No problem at all. Thank you.
Let's move on to Aisha. You had a question for Crypto Ken. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. So on your roadmap, it's mentioned about integration of governance utility. I was thinking, will you be creating new governance token in future, or already existing native token will act as a governance token? And what decisions will holders be able to make by putting forward any proposal for voting?
Yeah, so with governance, of course, it would have to be a separate token, which would be an actual governance token. And with that, they would be able to vote on different things as to what direction the project goes, possibly what CEX is the list on. They would also be able to vote on where the funds from the CEXs would go. So say that they are a little worried about LP, and you have your DAO room, your governance room that is voting, and say that they're a little worried about LP, we get in a payment from a CEX listing, they would be able to actually vote on where they would like to see the funds go. So if they want to see the funds go into manual LP ad, we will be holding back a little bit of supply for that. So we will have supply that will be locked initially, and that will be there for LP ad, so that we do not have to buy tokens from the open market to be able to add LP. We will only need BNB to add LP. So that's where the voting will come into place, is they will be able to see from a community perspective or a DAO perspective as to what they see as the best, and we'll be able to see the concerns of the community. So if they are worried about the price, they could vote for buyback. If they're worried about the liquidity, they could vote for LP ad. If they think that we need new members, they could vote to use the funds for marketing. They could also vote, maybe we need a little bit more utility. Maybe we need something else to hype it up a little bit on that side. They could also vote to put the funds towards project, and towards the project, we would be able to use that for utility development.
Understood. Thank you. Thank you for answering.
No problem at all. Thank you.
Let's move on.
And I just got to say, 370 in the chat. This is pretty high.
Awesome. Yeah. Let's move on to Western Beast. You had a question for Crypto Ken. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. Hi, guys. Okay, so majority of the questions have been answered, but I actually have just an observation to point out to you guys. When visiting your website, I know it's a DApp website, Web3, but when I use the regular browser, it showed me that the connection isn't really secure. I thought it was the Brave browser I was using, so I tried using other browsers and it still gives me the same warning. Now, some investors are going to actually see this as red flags because of the many hacks that have been happening. I mean, basic SSL security here is not present. So, are you guys going to fix that anytime soon?
Yeah, that's actually being worked on right now.
It is actually there. Sorry, it's actually there. So you just make sure that when you go on the link, you probably won't see that S behind HTTP. So when you put that S manually, because these links are still in testing phases, and the guys use these HTTP links. And we, since it's not live yet completely, we beta testing the D app and the dashboard. So that's 100% flawless. So when you put an S manually, you will see this SSL security script should be there.
Yeah, as a secure connection, exactly. And like he said, we also have the DApp being worked on right now. So the DApp is not 100% uploaded. The DApp is being connected to the website as we speak. So that DApp will be coming out very, very soon. Like I said, Mighty and Emperor from Bit Valley are the ones that are building our DApp, and they already have it finished up. I just got them with the web developers this morning because they had an issue of signing in with the information that was given to them. It would not allow them to sign into the server, so they weren't allowed to add it last night. So they're working tirelessly right now with the web developers to get the DApp uploaded.
All right, crypto. All right. I just wanted to point it out. Maybe you guys already knew that you guys had it. It's already being addressed. So well, although I use HTTPS everywhere on one of my browsers, so basically almost all of my connections are secure. So I'm really wishing you guys the best, and I hope your project stays bullish onward. Over to you, Glenn.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the questions, Western Beast. Let's move on to Venice. You had a question for Crypto Ken. Go ahead.
Yeah, Glenn, thank you so much. Actually, I read about NFTs. You have plans in your roadmap. So could you please tell us, will they be on BSC or ERC? And will you have your own marketplace for listing them as well, or you will use third-party marketplace for your NFTs?
So yeah, I think the answer for that would be the easiest is Mighty and Emperor from Bit Valley are doing our DApp. If you've looked into Bit Valley, you'll see that they actually have a cross-chain NFT marketplace. So that will actually be one of the next partnerships that will be coming out. Is once we have our NFTs live and our NFTs go live onto their marketplace, that'll be one of the next partnerships that we'll be rolling out. Will be with them. So we will use the Bit Valley marketplace. And they will be BSC, but we could also do others as well. And that's because they do have a multi-chain marketplace. So we could do it on any chain that we wanted.
Okay, that's really great. And thank you so much for answering my question.
No problem.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thanks for the question. Unfortunately, we've run out of time today, but it's been great speaking to Crypto Ken. Yeah, I love these stealth launches. With your experience from Baby ETH and the team you're building, you know, it's going to be a great marketing team, and you've got the experience. So these stealth launches that can really fly. So yeah, everyone stays tuned in Telegram. They might be launching in the next few hours. So that's super exciting for the EthBurn team. Thank you very much for coming today, Crypto Ken. As we always say, welcome to talks for research and educational purposes. It's not financial advice, but you can check out the website, the white paper, and the official socials. They're in our main chat, so we can get you safely over there. If you've got any questions after the AMA, just head in there and I'm sure the team will answer questions for you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Glenn.
Thank you for having us.
By the way, they're launching in like 10 minutes, guys. They're launching in like 10 minutes, guys. So,
Possibly, who knows?
hours, Glenn. It's like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I definitely went and wait on jumping over into the Telegram group, because if you wait for a few hours and think we're launching in a few hours, you may miss it.
Awesome. Yeah. So everyone get over there and get ready for the launch. Thank you very much for coming today, Crypto Ken and Astro joining in. It's been awesome speaking to you both. And take care. I'll finish the record and send over a copy for you to share with your community, and I'll send that into the main chat for our investors that couldn't join the call today. Take care, guys.
You do the same. Thank you.
Good seeing you again, Glenn.